All right. Welcome to another episode of the Prosperous Man podcast. I am your host, Leonard McElveen, and this is episode 074, Sacrifice and Seeds. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Before we jump into it, usually I have a scripture, I have a quote for you guys. So today's quote is from Eric Thomas of the Secret to Success podcast, motivational speaker, author, all of those things. You can check him out on his social medias, all that sort of stuff. But today's quote is, "To be successful is never convenient. The things you have to, the things you have to go through, it's never convenient." And that's where we're kind of starting today. And we're going to start with just as I was over the past week, me and my wife both have had the same conversation, and it has been something that's kind of popped up because for you guys, for those of you that don't know, my wife has her own vegan desserts business. So Tasteful Vegan Frozen Desserts. We have the first allergen-free, dairy-free, top 8 allergen-free ice cream shop. So it's the first in Michigan, and that covers everything. So there's no soy, no gluten, no dairy, no nuts. No, it's all top 8 allergen-free. So we do a lot for the business. We're also ministers at our church, so we're very involved in our church. I do the audio visual for the church. My wife is a children's minister. We also homeschool our kids. So there's always, and there's a couple other, side businesses and things that we have going on. So there's always like a lot going on. But, the comment that we heard from just a couple people, like when people kind of get a look on the inside, and just a small brief look is that, how are you guys resting? Do you need to slow down? Do you need to say no to some more things? Do you need to kind of sit down? And for us, it is like, it is having people that are well-intentioned and well-meaning, and we know that it's coming from a good place, but it's also you don't quite understand everything that we believe we're supposed to be doing, everything we believe we're called to do. And, I got on here and I wanted to make this podcast and just share with you guys, you may be going through something very similar, or just have those different instances in your life where you feel like not everybody's going to understand, where you're trying to do something for your family, you're trying to do something extra, you're trying to do something different, or just something in addition. If you're listening to this podcast, you're probably, come from a very similar background. Most we're middle class people. We go to work, we come home, we spend time with the families, we take vacations, we do all of those kind of quote unquote normal things. But then it becomes, are you willing to do something different? Are you willing to do something more on top of that? Are you willing to sacrifice for something better? And, it's always interesting when you get those comments, because sometimes it will make you feel that way. You will have those moments kind of in, whether it's an entrepreneurial or whether you're trying to do something extra, something different. You'll have those moments where you are tired, where you do feel like you're doing a lot and like you're always going and going and going. But it comes down to the vision of what you have, what's important. Where are you trying to go? What's the purpose of starting the side business or doing, X, Y, Z, whatever it is you want to do? What's your vision? What does it look like for you later on down the line? What's the end goal? I can tell you what my vision is, That's for what me and my family are trying to do. That's what me and my wife are trying to do. But you have to answer that question for yourself too. It's like, what do you want to see? If you're in your 40s, what do you want your 50s to be like? If you're in your 20s, what do you want your 30s to be like? If you've got young kids, what do you want it to look like for them when they get to be teenagers and leaving the house? If you've got older kids, what do you want life to look like for your grandkids? Are there things that you could be doing now for your grandkids? Um, so it all comes to the vision. And I'm very big on vision. I'm very big on keeping that picture in front of you, keeping what's out there in front of you so you always know where you're going. Too many times, and I think life and society can kind of condition us to, we go to work, we come home, we have dinner, we spend time with the family, and then we do it all over again. Not really with like the destination of what does my life mean? What should it look like? If you're content with that, that's fine. Nobody's here to knock you or to drag you or make you feel bad about that. But just the part of me is like, I believe God's called each of us to do something else, to do something more. I don't know if we were all called to just work the jobs. The job and our employment is a part of us, but it's not the complete and total of us. You know what I'm saying? It's not our whole identity. So, when you're doing the other stuff, it comes to your vision, it comes to your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? What are you hoping to get out of that? What's the goal? And as I'm thinking through this, as I'm talking through this, it's what I have found is that the pursuit of that extra, the pursuit of something else, has a lot to do with your own personal outlook on it. For me and my wife, and as we lead our family, as I lead my family, as I speak to my wife, as we talk, as we communicate, I do a great, I do, I do my best at trying to keep that vision in front of us. But that is more my leaning and more my style. So I know myself. I am a dreamer. I will have big plans. I will know what I want it to look like 5, 10 years from now, and I do my best to communicate that too to my wife. I too communicate what the vision is for us. So it makes it easier when it comes to a time of sacrificing. And instead of using the word sacrifice, I like to say, we're planting seeds. What we're doing now is we're planting for the harvest that will come in 5 years, 10 years. The business that she's doing now, it's not for right now. So we sacrifice our time, our effort, we put all of that for what will be coming down the road in 5 years, 10 years of what we believe this can be. So, it's I like to use the word planting seeds rather than sacrifice. Sacrifice sounds like I'm giving something up. And to a degree you are, but when you use the words, I think the words are important. Using the words planting seeds reminds us kind of that farmer mentality. I'm planting seeds. So at some point, what I'm doing today will have a benefit down the road. When you use the word sacrifice, sometimes it just means that I'm giving this up now. There's nothing else involved. I'm just giving this up rather than planting seeds, which means I know that there's something else coming. I know that there's another part to this. So it's all about your outlook. What is your outlook on what you're doing right now? Am I sacrificing? Am I planting seeds? And that makes it easier to follow your vision. So if I'm planting seeds now for my vision that is 5, 10 years down the road, I can plant those seeds. I'm willing to stay up late. I'm willing to get up early. I'm willing to develop myself. Maybe the self and the person that I am that might make 50,000 is not the person that I need to be if I want to make 200,000. So I'm willing. I'm planting the seeds now for that person later, for the version of me 5, 10 years down the road. So it's all about your outlook. So ask yourself, what is my outlook? Ask yourself, what should my outlook be? What do I want it to be? Do I lean more towards a negative outlook? How can I change that? I want to be more positive. I want to be able to encourage myself and not be down on myself all the time. What does your outlook look like? And how to change that? And then my third option, my third thing is when it comes to the sacrificing and the seeds is be willing to put in the time. It's going to take time. Everything is so fast nowadays. Everything comes fast. Everything happens fast. We change jobs fast. We change partners. We move from thing to thing to thing so fast now that we don't give ourselves that grace of things taking time. And it's also why I like using the words, that's why I like using planting seeds, because it reminds me that things take time. Great things take time. Things that are worth it take time. Things that are special and important take time. And along with that is also always, for me, it's always being in prayer. Having times of prayer to make sure that I'm always lined up with my purpose. It's prayer and purpose. Are you supposed to be doing what you're supposed to be doing? What is your purpose? We talked about the vision earlier for our lives. And I think vision and purpose go together. Yes, you should be able to have your family, raise your kids, do all those sorts of things, but the purpose of your life is more than what you can just see. Your impact is more than just you can see. Your purpose is something that comes directly from God. And it's through that prayer time, it's through spending time with Him, it's through just having that time with God where you're able to be like, okay, I know my purpose is more than this job that I work. My job might be a part of it. My purpose is my family, my kids, my spouse, my partner. I know that's a part of it, but how do I bring all of this together? How do I bring all the parts of me together so that they fulfill the vision that God has for me, the vision that I have for my life? Taking vacations is great. How do I connect that to my purpose? Is my purpose to impact people on these vacations? Is my purpose to bring somebody along with me and expose them to a different lifestyle, expose them to different parts of the world? What is your purpose? So the seeds you plant today should be a part of your purpose for that later time. So that's what I wanted to talk to, just kind of share with you guys today, is just being able to have that time. Be able to know what you're doing. Are you sacrificing? Are you planting seeds? What's your goal? What's your end goal? What does the vision look like for you? And does it all tie into your purpose? Does it all tie into your plan and what you see for your life? So I hope that it does. If you're looking for it, if you're trying, keep searching, keep going and having those talks with God. Keep looking to improve yourself and better yourself and grow into the person that you really want to become. So thank you guys for joining in for this week's podcast, and I will talk to you later. See ya.